What is going on? My name is Hannah McCrae and I'm going to show you exactly how much protein you should be having. Now, I remember back when I was doing my bikini competition and researching all these different things, any bodybuilder, trainer, or someone who is in the fitness industry will tell you that you should eat your weight in protein. So if you are a 150-pound female, they will say you need 150 grams of protein. Now, after a couple of years and testing out different methods, I now know that for the average female, that is way too much protein to consume. I mean, if you want to eat that much protein and you want to eat, chicken and rice every meal and protein bars and protein powders and just really heavy and loaded on the protein, then by all means do that. But I have done tons of research on this topic and I am here to tell you that you do not need to eat that much protein. You do not need to eat that much protein. The amount of protein that is recommended from the RDA, the recommended daily allowance of protein is actually 0.8 grams per kilogram. So if you are a 150-pound woman, that is 68 kilograms multiplied by 0.8 is 54 grams of protein. So this is the bare minimum amount. Okay, so I know if you do a lot of weightlifting or you work out often and you are thinking, Hannah, I go way over that amount, that is okay too, because that is just the minimum amount for a sedentary female. Now, if you do work out and are fairly active, then the amount of protein needed increases. So as a personal trainer, I do think it is good to go anywhere from 1.2 to 1.8 grams per kilogram. And the reasoning is because our body needs the protein for fat loss, for gaining muscle, for building strength. So protein is actually the building blocks for our body. There are many benefits of protein. It helps balance blood sugar levels, helps to maintain our weight, fat loss, and muscle gain, hormone balance, and hair damage. It keeps us healthy. So we do need protein. You may be in one spectrum, I don't eat enough protein. Maybe you have a toast in the morning, maybe you have a bagel for breakfast, maybe a sandwich for lunch, and you're really not getting enough protein. Macros, counting macros, MyFitnessPal is a great option just so you can track to see how much carbs, protein, and fats that you're eating. And you have an overall awareness of that. But you don't have to count macros. Counting macros is quite time consuming and I don't believe it's sustainable. We don't need to be counting numbers for the rest of our life. And my third point on macros is it can always leave you stressed out about numbers. Having to reach your number at the end of every day, making sure that you didn't go over. So emotionally, it can bring a lot of added stress because you're always having to hit these exact numbers every single day. So don't feel like you have to track your macros. Track your macros in MyFitnessPal. If that works for you, then great, but there are many other options. So for protein options, you can have beef, ground turkey, ground chicken, chicken breast, sirloin steaks, salmon, tilapia, cod, halibut. There are so many different animal protein options. Or some vegan options. We have tofu, tempeh, quinoa, beans, lentils, chickpeas. There are so many vegan options as well. So don't think that you just have to have animal protein. You can have both animal protein and vegan options as well. I personally like doing a mixture of both. I'm not vegan, but I do really love incorporating vegan options because it does feel really good to eat plant-based, eat more vegetables, and just have more overall nutrients in your diet. So overall premise, you do not need to eat insane amounts of protein, but then again, you should be either tracking your macros or making sure that you are incorporating different protein options into your daily plan. So you don't need to be eating a ton of animal protein. You don't need to track your macros. Tracking your macros is also good to do too, but find what works best for you. If it's counting macros, that's great. If it's not counting macros, that's totally fine as well. So don't feel like because there's this trend of everyone counting macros, that you feel like you have to do that as well. Because if you're not staying consistent with it for longer than 2 weeks of consistently tracking macros, then it's probably not the best plan for you. So be honest with yourself, be honest with where you're at, and don't feel stressed out by having to count numbers and make sure that the number is exact at the end of every night. And for protein, so I'll tell you what I had for breakfast. So breakfast, I actually fasted a little bit, so that's another myth. You don't need to eat food as soon as you wake up. You can let your body just digest a little bit longer, because as we're sleeping, it's actually good to give our bodies a break from constantly trying to break down food and constantly trying to pass it through our bowels and our stomach. We can actually just give it a break and not have to eat all the time. So it is fine to fast a little bit, but make sure that your first meal is something that is a little bit higher in protein, lots of vegetables, lots of fiber, and can keep you full for a couple of hours. I know before I started fitness, I loved bagels from Tim Hortons. I would have like a bagel with cream cheese on it, and it was delicious and easy, quick, cheap. I get it. But in an hour, I would be so hungry, and my energy would go like, it would go straight down. So make sure that you're choosing foods that you're actually going to feel energized from, and they're going to keep you going for the whole day. So my first meal today was around noon. I had a massive salad, which was absolutely delicious. And because I do like to incorporate some vegan options, I had tofu in there, I had pickled onions, tons of different vegetables, and this really delicious sesame sauce. So, oh, and I had quinoa in it as well. It was absolutely delicious, and I had it with kombucha on the side. So that is really ultra healthy, if you want to call it that. You obviously don't need to eat a salad. You don't need to eat tons of vegetables in the morning. Do what works best for you, and do what feels good for you, right? Because when we feel good, then we do good. So fill your body with good nutrients, good vitamins, lots of vitamin C, and it will love you back. So I hope you love this video. Please give it a thumbs up, like, and comment what you love most about this video. And I absolutely love when you give me recommendations on which types of videos you would like to see. So please let me know here below, and you can follow me on Instagram at Hannah J. McCrae. So I hope you love this video and have an amazing day.